Nolan, very good to see you. We're starting with the question: what is a retirement drawdown strategy? I know you have 6 tips to help make sure our money lasts because we spend decades building our nest egg. And then when we retire, we need a plan to stop saving and start spending, but not spending so much that we risk running out of money. It's a delicate balance that requires you to consider, again, these 6 variables. First, you say you need a plan to minimize taxes.
Yeah, Aaron, tax minimization has become the name of the game lately just because it's kind of in the plan, at least for 2025 right now, the taxes are going to go back up to what they were roughly 10 years ago. But you'll note in this chart that even historically, we tend to be in kind of low tax brackets
Yeah.
compared to where we've been in years past. You think about more debt, more interest that we have to pay on the debt, some economic turbulence that we might be going through. Oftentimes the government uses taxes as a patch to get through things like that. So you just have to be wary of minimizing taxes in retirement, coming up with a plan for how to do so.
Mhm. Number 2, you have to determine when is the most financially optimal time to claim Social Security. And this can be complicated.
Yeah, Social Security, we do like to treat kind of like another huge piece of your nest egg, like a big chunk of life savings. It's important to know when to claim, and if you claim early, what the lifelong impact of that early claiming might be. You'll know in this chart that if your full retirement age benefit at 67 is $1,000 a month and you claim at age 62, you take a 30% cut in your benefit. So
Mhm.
for some people, if you live until you are 90 or 95, which is becoming a little bit more common, that reduction in benefit can greatly affect your purchasing power over time. The
Mhm.
value of your dollar and the cost of it. I mean, especially over the past few years, you can see that it can be drastically affected.
Right, right. Number 3, if you are lucky enough to have a pension, you need to choose the right pension payout.
Yep, and pension payouts come in a wide array, shape, forms, different claiming ages, different strategies. You can often claim with a spouse, without a spouse, with increasing benefits or level benefits. So pensions, while they are becoming a little bit more rare as far as retirement planning goes and income planning goes, it is still important to go through maybe a couple different hypothetical scenarios and really test what would happen if I claim my pension sooner versus
Mhm.
later.
Mhm. Number 4 is that delicate balance between guaranteed income and long-term growth.
Guaranteed income for most people meaning Social Security, but for a lot of people can mean pensions. For some people, they have annuity income
Mhm.
from schools or other employment or something like that. Long-term growth, typically we mean stocks and bonds. So just making sure that you do have a good balance between risky assets and safe assets, assets that are meant to grow a lot over time, and assets that are meant to maybe generate a little bit more income in the near term.
Right. And then that brings us to number 5. We need that plan for longevity. As you mentioned a second ago, people are living longer.
Yeah, the plan for longevity, living longer, outliving your money, you need a plan for it. For a lot of people that do have retirement savings whose children are set and they're kind of looking towards those end stages in life, this can often mean long-term care insurance or home
Mhm.
health care or some type of at least plan around what happens if I live for a long time in an
Right.
expensive situation.
Right. And then last, we have to account for inflation.
The silent retirement killer, besides taxes, is inflation. It's been pretty bad the past couple years. Most times we see inflation somewhere between 1 and maybe 3 or 4%, but we've seen how it's affected everybody's purchasing power these past couple years. I mean, if you're on Social Security and you got an 8% bump, I mean, that feels great, but it's 30 or 40% more expensive to fill your grocery cart, it seems
Mhm.
like. So
Right.
it's just important to account for inflation, to have it in the plan. You do need some sort of growth in your portfolio somewhere, just in case we have higher than normal inflation or taxes over the
Mhm.
intermediate term.
Mhm. So many points to consider. And again, finding the correct drawdown strategy is such a personalized number. So, Nolan, if somebody wants to have this conversation with you, how can they reach you?
Sure. So they can call us at 616-301-2581 or go to cornerstone-rp.com and fill out the contact us box at the bottom of the homepage.
Great. Nolan, thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.